transformation, transform your feelings. Oh, just rewire your brain, just rewrite your subconscious mind. We have heard this so much. If you're in the spiritual wellness, self-development sphere, you have heard it over and over and over again, to just alchemize or transform your feelings and your thoughts, and then it'll set you free and you'll manifest all your deepest desires. And you're like, what the fuck does that actually mean, and how do I do it? Well, have I got the video for you. Stick around while I introduce to you how emotional alchemy works. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wisteria Root. I am a professional oracle, tarot reader, and psychic who helps people discover their voice, unleash their magic, and tap deeper into their sense of confidence and pleasure. I give personalized readings, astrology readings, and I am here to help light the path to a brighter future inside of the collective by giving you tools to alchemize your life. What is emotional alchemy? I'm so glad you asked. Well, emotional alchemy is the process of transforming difficult feelings like fear and anger and shame into powerful energies that you can work with to propel your life and creativity. We've all heard that emotions are energy and motion, and so when we allow ourselves to complete the cycle that an emotion is producing or experiencing inside of our bodies, we then allow ourselves to move forward out of the trauma response and into the next step and phase of our journey. The first step in emotional alchemy is to become totally aware of how it is that you're truly feeling, especially in a moment of heightened emotion, right? Whether that's anger or intense sadness, grief, things like that. Often there is a feeling underneath that initial emotion that points to a deeper pattern that could be playing out that comes from your subconscious mind, maybe your childhood, maybe trauma, something like that. And so emotional alchemy is essentially the process of becoming aware of how this energy is moving throughout your body, and therefore it's making you respond to the rest of your life. And as you approach feelings like fear or doubt, you can go a little bit deeper with them by sitting with them in meditation without judgment and saying, okay, like, why do I feel so fearful? Why do I feel so doubtful? And underneath that, there can be an underlying lingering feeling of unworthiness or of judgment or shame around yourself and around your own behaviors and actions and things like that. Now, the point of emotional alchemy is not to excuse bad behavior. Rather, it is to transform the qualities that are producing this like negative behavior in the first place. So say you're in a reactive state and you just yelled at your partner or something like that. Emotional alchemy is going to come in hopefully before you get to that point, but it allows you to truly address the trigger that's being brought up inside of your body and then transform it, almost like shift the direction that it's moving in to allow you to maintain better control over your thoughts, words, and actions. Now, you might be thinking that if you're feeling anger, you're probably just angry. If you're feeling sad, maybe you're just sad. But I would offer a challenge here that says underneath that anger, underneath that sadness, there's likely a deeper lingering need that is begging to be met. Because fear is oftentimes evidence of some sort of longing, or even sometimes a sort of desire, right? Because the things that you fear, the things that you resist, often are the direct arrow that's pointing towards what it is that you truly want, what it is that you truly need. So the first step of emotional alchemy, you're gonna take some deep breaths, you're gonna remove yourself from the trigger. Maybe that's a partner, maybe that's a situation, maybe it's your laptop or whatever. You're gonna step away, create a sacred space for yourself where you're gonna then do some really, really deep breathing. And you're going to go in and you are going to invite your inner child or the part of you that's angry or whatever it is that you're working with to elevate themselves to the top of your consciousness so that you can then connect with and interact with them and hear what it is that this deeper part of you has to say. So often this is done through prompts like asking yourself, what do you really need in this moment? Why are you really upset? Things like that. Allowing yourself to go deeper with the emotion. Say, I understand that you're angry. Where does this anger come from? Sometimes you'd be surprised, like the anger that you're feeling isn't even necessarily yours. Like it can be something that was passed down to you. It can be a pattern that you had learned or inherited. And then the reason why this is so powerful is then you can then decide if this is really a feeling that you want to carry on and continue. We have so much power in our choices. We get to choose how we feel. We get to choose how we react. We don't get to choose how other people react to us, but we do get to choose what we do in every situation, and that is the only thing that we're able to control. And so this is really being able to hone in and regain control. And so then after you have gone through that experience where you've gone deeper with yourself, you're sitting with your consciousness, you're allowing the trigger to come up, and you're asking the right questions to allow this part of yourself to be fully expressed, the next thing that you're going to do is some form of transformative technique. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do this. My personal favorite is through music and dance. So one method that can be really helpful is you make a queue of songs, and the first song represents the shadow frequency of the emotion that you're experiencing. So say that you're really mad at, I don't know why, but I'm just picking up on this partner energy. Like, you're really mad at a partner. And then you play a song that, like, you know, you play like Carrie Underwood. Well, I dug my key into the side of his pretty little suit. You know, you get mad about it, and you let yourself get mad, because it's important to recognize that all of our emotions are entirely and totally necessary in the process of evolution. It's just what we do with them that determines how effective they are at actually keeping us safe. Because your sadness, your anger are methods of protecting you. And so you can be debilitated by them, or you can actually use them to your advantage. So you start off, you sang your Carrie Underwood song. Great, moving on. The next thing that you're going to do is you're then going to play a much softer song. You're going to play one that's almost the opposite, right? So if it's anger, then it's joy. And then you're going to allow yourself to move completely through this much like lighter frequency energy. And then you're going to oscillate between a song where you're feeling the depth of your emotion, and then a song where you're feeling the lighter energy of how it is that you want to truly feel. And you can do a really powerful thought leader, Mama Gina, who wrote the book Pussy at Reclamation. She talks about this process called, what does she call it? She calls it swamping, which is where, in her example, she put a trash bag on her body, and then because she just felt like garbage, and then she started dancing around in a trash bag. If that's your style, the world's a stage, you know, go for it. But you don't necessarily have to go that hard. Like, the whole point is that you put on a song that resonates with the depth of how you're feeling, and you let yourself feel it. You let yourself feel it all the way out. Because emotions and trauma in our energy body is like a loop that hasn't been completed. And so until you allow that process to fully come to a close, then the loop is going to continue to linger and repeat and be easily triggered, because it's not necessarily resolved. And unfortunately and fortunately, like, it's on us to be able to resolve our feelings. Today we're talking about denser emotions, and so I'm going to give you some more helpful tips to regulate your nervous system after having like a big flood of anger or something like that. So you might intuitively think that allowing yourself to throw a tantrum is like how you're going to get the energy out, right? Like, you can release all that anger, all that rage, like punch the pillow, scream into it if you need to. And while there's definitely a time and place for this kind of rage release, often this can actually trigger your nervous system even more. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to focus on the tension and the release in your body. So as you're feeling into these feelings, instead of like screaming and like thrashing around like you see in some somatic practices, what I would then offer instead is like a controlled release. So you're like bringing your hands up, and your hands are like clenched into tight fists, and you're like, I'm so mad, and like you have like this energy that you're pulling down with you, and then you like release it all, and you feel it like release from your body. Because the whole point of emotional alchemy is saying we were in a heightened state, and now I'm taking all of that energy and I'm transforming it into something that's actually going to benefit me, instead of rage and a spark and a spike in all of your emotional levels. Not a scientist. And this is super helpful because you can do it anywhere, right? Like, you get pissed off at work, walk into the walk-in freezer, okay? Nobody's gonna walk in there right now, and you can just shake and release and shake it down. You're clenching all of your muscles and you're releasing, right? You can do this in the car. You can do this in your bedroom. If you don't have time to do the full-on dance practice, then this is a much quicker way to move through your feelings. There are tons of different ways to do emotional alchemy. This is sort of just a crash course in emotional alchemy. So I hope that you're able to take away some tips that you're able to apply here and now, today. And you already know that I'll be back with more tips on how to transform the energy within to propel the life it is that you want to truly live. See ya.